The world is shifting because heaven is signaling the end of delay, and you can feel it in the way the air hangs heavier than before, as if creation itself is holding its breath. It feels like standing at the edge of a silent valley right before a storm, when everything pauses. Birds stop moving, winds stop blowing, even your heartbeat feels louder. There is a strange stillness wrapped around the world, a holy kind of tension that makes your soul whisper, something is coming. You sense time stretching, bending, slowing down, just enough for your spirit to catch what your eyes have been missing. Nothing feels ordinary anymore. Not the conversations you have, not the places you stand in, not the choices you make. It's as though heaven has placed its fingers on the clock and gently said, enough waiting. This isn't panic. It's awakening. This is the sound of destiny stepping into the room. The world is shifting because illusions are being torn down one by one, the ones we used to hide behind, the ones we pretended were solid. You can see it in people's eyes. Something is breaking, something is leaking through the cracks of their perfect smiles. The distractions are losing their power, the comforts we depended on are crumbling, and the masks people wore for years are slipping off without warning. It feels like walking through a city at dusk, where the lights flicker not because they're dying, but because truth is trying to shine brighter. God is peeling back everything fake, everything temporary, everything weak, revealing the raw truth underneath. We were never meant to survive on shallow things. Heaven shakes what is shakeable, so the eternal things. Faith, purpose, calling, can finally rise. The shaking is not destruction, it's divine clarity. The world is shifting because your personal battles have become spiritual battlegrounds. What once felt like random pain now feels targeted, intentional, loud. The sleepless nights, the sudden anxiety, the moments of heaviness that strike without explanation, these are not ordinary struggles. They are alarms. They are signals from the unseen nudging you to wake up. It's like walking through smoke while everyone else insists the building isn't burning. But your spirit knows better. You feel the urgency pressing against your ribs, whispering that your life is part of something bigger than you realized. Heaven is refusing to let you remain numb or distracted. Every tear, every heartbreak, every confusion is heaven's way of calling you closer, preparing you for a moment your soul has been waiting for. Your struggle is not punishment, it's preparation. The world is shifting because darkness is rising louder and faster than ever, not because it's winning, but because it's desperate. Evil always screams the loudest when its time is almost up. You see shadows in places where there used to be light, chaos where there used to be calm, division where there used to be unity. But this isn't the end. This is the turning point. In every redemption movie, there's a moment when the villain throws everything at the hero, not because he's powerful, but because he knows he's losing. That's what this moment feels like. Darkness exposing itself is not a sign of defeat. It's a sign that light is about to break through with a force no power can stop. Heaven allows the darkness to reveal itself so you finally recognize the battlefield you've always been standing on. Awareness is the beginning of victory. The world is shifting because God is stepping closer, and when He steps closer, everything else trembles. You can feel something holy in the atmosphere, the kind of quiet that makes you straighten your posture without knowing why. It's like being in a room moments before someone important walks in. The air changes, your heartbeat changes, your thoughts shift. Heaven is signaling that the delay is over, not to frighten you, but to pull you back to your calling, your purpose, your true identity. This is the moment in your story where everything you endured finally makes sense. Every delay, every disappointment, every unanswered prayer was shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you for what's coming. The world is shifting because your chapter is about to shift with it. The waiting season wasn't wasted time, it was molding time. Now, heaven is whispering, it's time. Signs in the hearts of people are louder than signs in the sky, and you can feel it in the way souls tremble without explanation. It's the quiet ache that shows up in the middle of the night, the sudden heaviness that makes a person pause in the middle of a crowded room. The unspoken feeling that life is shifting even when everything looks the same. It's like standing at the edge of an old bridge while the wind carries whispers of something coming, something holy, something that can't be ignored anymore. People are waking up not because they saw a miracle in the clouds, but because something inside them is stirring with a force they can't control. Hearts feel unsettled, restless, hungry for truth in a way they never were before. And deep down, everyone can sense it. The soul is speaking louder than the world, louder than the news, louder than the sky itself. Signs in the hearts of people are louder because the Spirit feels what the eyes cannot see. You can look into someone's face and know they're fighting a battle they never talk about. Their laughter sounds different. Their silence feels deeper. Their questions are heavier. It's like watching a movie scene where the character walks into a room smiling, but the background music reveals everything they're hiding. Behind every smile is a longing. Behind every conversation is a search for something real. People are praying again, even the ones who claimed they didn't believe. People are crying again, not from weakness, but from awakening. God is touching hearts in ways that no sign in the sky could ever match. Hearts are becoming the loudspeakers of heaven, warning us, calling us, guiding us back to the one we drifted from. Signs in the hearts of people are louder because pain has become a teacher. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every unanswered question is shaping people from the inside out. You see it in their eyes. Something broke, but something awakened too. It's like the moment in a redemption film when the character hits rock bottom, not to be destroyed, but to finally see the truth they were blind to all along. The struggles people carry are no longer just personal, they're spiritual signals. The loneliness pushing them to their knees, the emptiness they can't fill with distractions, the fear that wakes them up at 3 a.m., these are not accidents. These are divine alarms calling them home. Heaven isn't speaking through stars right now. It's speaking through scars. And every scar is saying it's time to return. Signs in the hearts of people are louder because darkness is pressing harder, forcing souls to choose between numbness and awakening. The confusion, the chaos, the constant pressure, it's making people question everything they once trusted. You see families breaking, friendships fading, dreams collapsing, and yet beneath all of that, something powerful is rising. It's the human spirit refusing to die. It's the flicker of faith trying to light itself again. In every redemption story, there's a moment when everything goes dark, not to end the story, but to reveal who the character really is. That's where the world is now. People are seeing their own weakness and searching for God's strength. They're realizing that the darkness around them is nowhere near as loud as the cry inside them, and that cry is heaven's message. Wake up, rise up, don't lose your soul. Signs in the hearts of people are louder because God is awakening them from the inside, whispering through feelings they can't ignore. You can sense it when someone suddenly wants to change their life, when they crave peace more than attention, when they feel a pull toward God even if they don't know why. It's like the scene in a movie when the hero finally stops running and turns around, facing the truth that's been chasing them the whole time. Hearts everywhere are turning, shifting, awakening. People are longing for forgiveness, for purpose, for healing, for something eternal. Heaven is not writing messages in the clouds, it's writing them in souls. And those souls are crying out with one shared message. Something is coming, something is changing, and God is closer than we think. Once again, God is asking through you, what business is it? Darkness rising is not the end. It's the final push before glory breaks. And you can feel it in the way the world seems to be holding its breath. Everything feels heavier, louder, more intense than it used to be. It's like standing in the middle of a city as the power suddenly cuts out. One moment there is noise and light, and the next there is silence and shadows stretching across every corner. People feel the weight of this moment deep in their bones, the pressure pressing against their hearts like a storm gathering overhead. But that heaviness is not death, it's transition. It's the moment in every redemption story when the hero is knocked to their knees, not because the journey is over, but because the breakthrough is seconds away. Heaven is allowing the darkness to rise just enough for you to realize that you are never fighting alone. Darkness rising is not the end because God never lets the night win. You see the chaos around you, broken homes, wounded hearts, confusion attacking minds, fear tightening its grip around entire nations, and it feels like everything is unraveling. But this moment is like the scene in a film when the screen fades completely black before the next powerful chapter bursts open. The silence before the orchestra returns, the exhale before the light shatters the shadows. The darkness is loud because it's desperate. Evil fights hardest when it knows its time is almost gone. That's why you're seeing storms hit at once, why pressure is doubling, why battles feel like they're coming from every direction. Heaven is allowing the enemy's last scream so the world can witness God's final and undeniable answer. Light always wins. Darkness rising is not the end, because your personal pain is part of something wholly unfolding. You feel overwhelmed, exhausted, stretched beyond your limits, like life has dragged you into the deepest valley and left you there. But valleys are where God speaks the loudest. It's the moment in your story when everything that could fail has failed, when everyone who could walk away has walked away, when every door that could close has slammed shut. But that's exactly where transformation begins. God does his greatest work in hidden, painful places. The tears you cry in secret are watering the ground for the miracle coming next. The battles that feel like they're breaking you are actually shaping you into someone stronger, braver, more awake than you've ever been. Darkness comes before dawn, and your dawn is closer than you think. Darkness rising is not the end, because revelation is born in the shadows. The world is shaking, hearts are trembling, and truth is rising to the surface like fire through dry wood. The lies that once blinded people are falling apart. The illusions people trusted are dissolving. And everything fake is being exposed by force. It's like watching a character in a redemption film finally see the whole truth after living blind for years. The shock, the clarity, the awakening. That's what the world is experiencing. God is revealing what was hidden, uncovering what was buried, exposing what was corrupted, not to destroy, but to cleanse. Darkness gets louder right before God flips the script. And when he does, no lie, no shadow, no evil plan can stand against him. This is the shaking before the settling, the tearing before the healing, the collapse before the rebuilding. Darkness rising is not the end. It's heaven's announcement that glory is on its way. You can sense it in the air, like the moment the sun is about to break over the horizon, but the sky is still deep black. That final moment of darkness is always the thickest, always the coldest, always the most suffocating. But that's because the light is seconds away from flooding everything. God is preparing a breakthrough so powerful that the darkness has no choice but to panic. That's why you feel resistance. That's why you feel pressure. That's why you feel the enemy pushing harder than ever. He knows what's coming. Your story is about to shift. Your season is about to turn. The glory waiting on the other side of this darkness will make you realize the night wasn't killing you. The final sign is not fear, it's God's mercy, giving us one more chance. And you can feel it in the quiet corners of your soul where the world can't reach. It's like standing on a cliff at sunrise, watching the sky shift from darkness into light, realizing the night didn't last because of your strength, but because heaven held it back just long enough for you to wake up. The world keeps screaming fear, disaster, chaos, but deep inside something gentler is speaking. Something softer, something holy. It's the whisper that says, you're not too far gone. It's not too late. I'm still here. God doesn't send fear as a warning. He sends mercy. He touches hearts before he touches the earth. And when everything feels like it's shaking, when life feels like it's slipping, that's not doom. It's heaven pulling you closer before the next chapter begins. The final sign is not fear, because God's heart has always been forgiveness before judgment, restoration before consequence. You can see it in the way people suddenly feel the urge